What's up, guys, and welcome to the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Rock Out with Your Sock Out 150 here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Of course, we're here broadcasting the Output Racing League, and what a fantastic race this should be. We currently have quite a few drivers in and on the track. We've got a couple of people that are actually on the track, and everyone else lining up in the pits, getting ready to perform a pit party here. There's the 27 Jonathan Bell and 48 of Andrew Perkins coming into the pits now. Currently have 28 drivers registered for this session. And altogether, it is the grand total of 29, including myself. Strength of field so far is a 26.67. So that is pretty wicked. See all the cars starting to file out onto the track. Of course, we are running the ARCA cars in this race. Let's go see who we've got floating out at the front row. It's going to be the 37 of Timothy Swiggett leading us away. On his outside, the 60 of Kyle Kraus. Now off and racing for the pit party. A little bit of a staggered start here for the top half dozen. I did go out and do some testing with these guys just before we went live, and the car is very loose in the first couple of laps. We've already got one car going around, and I think we have a huge pile up. The shenanigans are real. That is probably like a 20 car pile up there at the back, as we now see Jonas Marquez getting loose coming off of turn 4. Keep it on track, but there was a lot of cars banged up in that incident. And now we see the Michael Watkins car, the 36. Oh, smashed by the 21. 28's gone around as well. Oh, someone else has gone around. This is going to be one heck of a race if this is what we're going to be seeing throughout. But it looks like just small little problems compounding and becoming big, huge problems. So if we're going to get some of that in the race, it's going to definitely shake things up a bit. Currently, Christian Budd with the top time of practice, a 30.544, 2/10 faster than Timothy Swiggett, currently P2. Matt Horton in 3rd, Andrew Perkins 4th, and Zach Floyd in 5th. Now, unlike last week's broadcast, this one is absolutely 100% live, free, and exclusive for you guys. I do sincerely hope you guys enjoy the broadcast. Get a Lowe's number 48 there of Andrew Perkins. It looks like we're preparing for another pit party here. The 4 of Jaron Sanchez, the Pied Piper of the group, rolling out in front of everyone. But as we know, Jaron never likes to start off the pole. So he will start dropping down to the back, or at least to the middle of the field here shortly. As the 27 car, Jonathan Bell in the background, having some troubles on the pace lap. Oh, and it looks like Jaron Sanchez is going to stay on the front row here with the 48 of Andrew Perkins. It's looking like everyone is running the numbers they should be as we get ready for the green flag here. We're off and racing for the next pit party. Remember, this is all about survival. As it looks like this time things were clear. They came off of turn 2. A lot of people wonder, why do we stuff around with pit parties? It's to try and prevent this. To get everyone used to racing along as a big group. And find out where the chinks are with running in a pack. A lot of cars involved in this incident as well. But we do still have cars on the track. If iRacing wants to go have a look at them. There we go. So currently still being led away by Andrew Perkins. Zach Floyd in there in second. Carl Kraus has gone for a spin coming off turn 4. And he's going to get a penalty for that one. The action starting to heat up at the front of this pit party, though. As Zach Floyd looking to try and make the outside work there on Andrew Perkins. Definitely had Christian Budd joining in on the fun there as well. We can see a lot of shenanigans unfolding here, and just practice. Makes you wonder how's it going to be for the actual race. Things are going to be a little bit trippy if they keep tripping over themselves and each other. I just got to quickly just get a clarification on something here. Frank Isaacson in the 24 car, going for a quick excursion through the grass. Matt Burgess having some trouble on the back straight. He's not the only one. Here people just run into that wall ever so slightly on the back straight. I know that we only just started the broadcast, but we're going to put up an advert already. This is just to try and get rid of the pre-roll ads on Twitch. We don't like the pre-rolls, so sit back and relax and enjoy the advert, guys. Alright guys, we are back and we're actually trying to refresh the paints here. Apparently some of the paints aren't showing up properly. So do a quick refresh. There is Thomas Harmon making a mistake and going around. Don't normally see mistakes out of Thomas Harmon. But there's debris everywhere as these cars are crashing all over the place. That is Jonathan Bell going around the 27 car. Remember, some of these guys are running custom numbers, others are not. So it's a fine balance between the custom numbers and the non-custom numbers. That looks like a better looking paint for the 48 car. Running the American Airlines scheme. So there you go for that one. Remember, these cars around here are very loose. I joined in on the practice session with these guys just before the broadcast started. And yeah, it is crazy loose. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys are going to handle themselves throughout the race. As we see Travis Masia getting into it there with Zach Floyd, 13 and the 9. We see now the 21 car on screen, Brian Chambliss. I don't think that's his normal scheme. Oh, there it goes. It's updating. That's better. Taco Bell. The Taco Bell 21. Right behind the 48 of Andrew Perkins there, who's ducking off to practice a pit entry. Frank Isaacson in the Autism Awareness number 24 car. And Thomas Harmon pulling out just behind as well. Go back up to Stephen Peplinski. And to the 50 of Christian Budd. Christian Budd is just on an absolute tear. Look at him go. Just carving his way around. He doesn't feel the looseness in these cars. He thinks we're all crazy. Darren Sanchez in the Output Racing number 4 car makes his way back onto the track. Oh, Frank Isaacson went for a half lose then. There's a 64 of Jonas Marquez. And the only reason that he is the 64 car is he was too lazy to change his number. Oh, that was a big shot on the inside wall there. Good thing we don't have to worry about backup cars for iRacing. Let's see Thomas Harmon on screen. He's just chilling out right now with Peplinski and I didn't catch the other name there before it changed over. There's Travis Massey on screen now, and he is just up behind Ken Campbell. He's got Corey Williamson behind as well. It's Hakes. Austin Hakes is the other car in this little group. Oh! Hellacious hit there for the 81 of Corey Williamson. Oh, and Peplinski gets loose as well, and he gets into the outside wall. There's the American Airlines 48. This is the trouble with how loose these cars are. The crash could literally come from absolutely anywhere. The iRacing is freaking out. I just heard someone's engine expire. I think that was my engine that just expired, actually. My car's just been sitting there in the pits not doing anything, and I do believe my engine just expired. Oh, Peplinski goes around again, catches Travis Massier on the way through. Travis managed to keep it going straight, but he's going to have a bit of damage on that 13 Gladiator car. Don't forget, guys, down below there's a list of streamers who might possibly be in this race. Go and check out the other streamers as well. Now you'll be able to see their in-car POVs. But make sure you always come back to the broadcast, because the broadcast sees everything. Like the 48 and the 13 there, getting into it, coming off at turn 2. Oh! And a hellacious hit from Kyle Kraus onto the 13 of Travis Massier. That was definitely a bell ringer. Gonna need to call the EMTs for that one. Oh, Christian Budd's gone around, the 5 of Penticuff gone with him. Not sure who the third car was in that. There's a 21. Oh, sorry, the 23. Menard's car, driven by John Lazelle. Just behind him, the 9 of Zach Floyd. As Lazelle gets loose. Floyd hits the wall. Oh, Floyd's going to lose it. He managed to keep it going straight. That's an achievement. As we are now about 12 minutes away from advancing this session. There's a 36 of Michael Watkins in the Yeet car. Behind him, the 4 of Jaron Sanchez in the Output Racing car. Get lots of great cars coming out for this race, for these races. Oh, as Thomas Harmon gets a little bit loose there, coming off turn turn two. There are 32 cars in this session, that's with myself included. So 31 to take the green flag, possibly. There is still time for more people to join in on the shenanigans. We see Rob Tracy, one of the league rookies this season. Practicing a pit entry maybe. He's trying to. We see Austin Hakes going for a drift. Who's that grinding up against the wall? James Watson deciding to grind the wall. Wants to make his car less wide for the slipstreams. Philip Kruger. Just behind these guys is Sean Peachin and Thomas Harmon. That reminds me, I've got to go and get the clarification on that name that I couldn't pronounce last week. Ish Canyon. So I'm ready. Actually trying to see if he's in the session. Does not look like he is here at the minute. No, he's not. That could be a little bit worrying there. Oh, the 38 Thomas Harmon. We don't usually see mistakes out of Thomas very often. But he's making a lot of them here in practice. Fifty Christian Budd just looking ever so smooth. John Lozelle on the 23. Currently in the 12th position. Only 3/10 off the leading time set by Christian Budd. This Sean Peachin in the 30. Like he's had some troubles coming off turn 2. Looks like middle to exit of the corners is where we're going to see the most amount of drama. Really seeing too much on the entries. The 13 of Travis Massio goes around, and again on the exit of turn 2. guys, we're getting ready to send it here for qualifying. So make sure you guys are ready for this, because once qualifying is over, this is where things are going to get very real. But most people are in the pits. But now it's time for us to advance and go off into qualifying. So as soon as I see the command, I'm going to be throwing up the advert. So guys, please stay tuned. When we come back, we'll have the starting grid. All right, guys, we are back, and it is now time to have a look at how our grid has worked out. On the poles, Christian Budd on his outside will be the 33, Matt Horton. Jonathan Bell in the 27 car will be out of third with Timothy Swiggett fourth. Gary Waterworth will be out of fifth with Thomas Harmon out of P6. Now we've got the two of Chris Champeau, who's going to be out of seventh. Zach Floyd eighth, Kyle Kraus ninth, Don Lozelle 10th. And 11th place is Ken Campbell. Sean Peachin is going to be 12th. Jaron Sanchez 13th. Michael Watkins out of 14th. With Rob Tracy out of 15th. Patrick Cowgill out of 16th. Stephen Peplinski out of 17th. Brian Chambliss 18th. Blake Matties out of 19th. Frank Isaacson 20th. Doug Luckrow out of 21st. Matt Burgess 22nd. Philip Kruger 23rd. Mark Pensicuff 24th, James Watson 25th, and the last qualified driver, Tommy Bordeaux, will be out of 26th, Austin Hakes out of 27th, Travis Massey 28th, Andrew Perkins 29th, Sam Niederhelm in 30th, Corey Williamson 31st, and Jonas Marquez, last but not least, in the 32nd position. As we get ready for the green flag here. Out of the 33 cars, including myself, strength of field 26-22 is not too bad for a league race. The pace car is in. We go on green, and there it is. We're off and racing here for the Rock Out with Your Sock Out 150 live from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And already Christian Budd taking the early lead from Matt Horton. Jonathan Bell sitting in third with Gary Waterworth sitting in the fourth position. But I want to have a look deep in the pack here at the very start to see if we get anyone getting loose. Got the camera set to focus on crashes just in case anything happens. Looks like for now everyone taking it fairly easy. No one wants to be the one to crash out on lap one. And it looks like it's all clear sailing for everyone on the first lap. And now the gloves will be off. Saw there the 38 of Thomas Harmon starting to make some moves through the field. He's worked his way up to 7th already, as he is now on the tail of Kyle Kraus in the 60 car. Also got Zach Floyd there just in front of him. Timothy Swiggett fallen back to the 8th position. Not a great start for Swiggett so far in the Rock Out with Your Sock Out 150. Going back to the front of the pack, Christian Budd leading the way, and he has a large margin on the field. As we're going to go look out the tail of his car, you see that is the gap. That is 1.4 seconds as it stands. But let's keep an eye on our battle for second here between Jonathan Bell and Gary Waterworth, who has made an excellent start to this race. Chris Champeau similarly up there in fourth. And it looks like we have a passing maneuver being made a little bit further down in the grid here. See if we can find out where that is. I think I've just gone a little bit too far past it, but there's the 15 of Ken Campbell battling it out with Sean Peachin, and I'm pretty sure Peachin is league rookie. This is his first race with the league today. We're going to go up to the 33 here of Matt Horton, who has had a terrible start to proceedings in this race, fallen all the way back from 10th to 10th. After starting from second. The 23 of John Lozelle has been trying to make some moves. We've got one car off, and that is the 37 of Timothy Swiggett. The Swiggett's already made an excursion down the pits. And he'll probably have a couple of penalties that he'll have to serve from that one. As we are going to set the cameras to focus on crashes, we immediately start looking at the 4 of Jaron Sanchez, league owner and operator, as just in front of him, Matt Horton and Kyle Kraus battling it out side by side. And I'm just going to focus on them manually. These guys battling it out for the 8th and 9th positions. And 10th if you include Sanchez in that battle. Sanchez now trying to get 9th from Kraus, and he does so very easily there on the entry to 3. Pulls up in front and takes command of that 9th position. Go back to looking at our battle for 2nd here. Once I find the right button to press. There it is. That's 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th right there in this little cluster. But Jonathan Bell and Gary Waterworth actually having a little bit of gap here over Chris Champeau and Zach Floyd. So the 2 cars in the 20s beating out the single digits. And I'm actually surprised that we haven't had anyone go around. Everyone learnt from the pit parties what you can and cannot do. Everyone just riding around very carefully right now. Not wanting to make any mistakes too early. Big puff of smoke there going into 3. Someone experimenting with some alternate dimensions. You see now on screen the 3 of Philip Kruger. And it looks like he is under attack from James Watson in the 39. This is the battle for 21st position. Just in front of them, the battle for 19th, Frank Isaacson and Rob Tracy. And Frank makes that look easy. But here comes Watson now, also trying to make a move on Tracy. But the inside line, which is the preferred way around here. And he gets that move done as well. Next person in his sights is the 24 of Frank Isaacson. But Frank will not be an easy man to pass. Especially when he's got a little bit of a good streak going. Going to go back to focusing on crashes here for a second. Immediately puts us back onto the good wrench number 3 of Philip Kruger. Oh, and loose just then was the 11 car. Unfortunately, iRacing just moved us to a different spot. Oh, the 48, Andrew Perkins. Very aggressively trying to make moves here. Just took 5 guys in one go. And the 3 of Philip Kruger suffering a little bit there going through turn 2. He is dropping right back down the pack now. As he's found a little bit of space here, maybe he can start getting himself comfortable once more and start attacking the field. There's the 5 of Mark Pentecoff just behind him. But Philip Kruger just dropped all the way back to 28th after that little skirmish. There's a 66 of Sam Niederhelm going very high line through 1 and 2. That's given him a lot of momentum actually, and it looks like he's going to try and make a move on Corey Williamson. And he makes that move stick. Kruger trying to go with him. And Kruger makes the move stick as well. There's a 48 of Andrew Perkins currently in the 21st position. Pulling away a little bit here from the pack that he just got around. This is an interesting little pack here as well. Got the 60 of Kyle Kraus, the 30 of Sean Peachin, Michael Watkins in the 36, and Ken Campbell in the 15. These guys battling it out for the back of the top 10. It looks like it's Kyle Kraus's 10th place to have for the moment. Almost contact there between Watkins and Peachin. Watkins experimenting with some alternate dimensions, trying to gain an advantage. Not doing so just yet. In fact, Peachin trying to work his way back around the 60 of Kyle Kraus because he wants that 10th position. Side by side they go down the front straight, Watkins and Peachin. Separately, they're just battling for 11th. Altogether, they're battling for the chance to have a top 10. And it looks like Watkins coming out on top in that little skirmish. And Peachin is actually going to be under threat here from Ken Campbell in the 15. Just behind them also Brian Chambliss, one of our front runners normally. And he is just ever looming, waiting for one or both of these guys to make a mistake so he can take the advantage and take their positions from them. And there is a line of cars behind this little battle group, just waiting to pounce on any mistakes made. That single file line of cars is being led by the 8 of Blake Matties. He's got the 12 of Matt Burgess there as well. The 31 of Patrick Cowgill and the 17 of Peplinski. Now Blake trying to insert himself into this battle. Not going to do so just yet. Actually a real close battle here for the minor placings. And they've been side by side for so many laps. And it looks like Matties has made a mistake and Matt Burgess has taken the advantage, gone up his inside as well. The cars should be starting to come to the drivers now. Tires will be warmed up. They're not going to be so loose, but they still will be very muchly on edge. You see the momentum on that outside line for the 15 of Ken Campbell carried him around the 30 car. And Chambliss saw that and thought, I want a piece of that as well. Takes to the high line. And it looks like he is going to clear Peachin as well. Just in front of them is the 36 of Michael Watkins. As I said, experimenting with some alternate dimensions has been Watkins. And it's not working out too well for him here. Honestly, he's on the tail of the top 10, sitting in 11th. But here comes Chambliss trying to make a move on Campbell now. We know Chambliss has some speed. Be interesting to see if he can make this move, especially with Campbell being so strong on that outside line. Chambliss cutting down the track, diamonding off the corner. Trying to gain a little bit of a speed boost. Almost got a little bit of a boost there. Didn't quite work out for him, no. As he sticks to the bottom of the track now, going through 3 and 4. Drivers are going very hard at it. But we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will return with the racing action. So make sure you guys stay tuned. And we are back free, live and exclusive here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Rock Out with Your Sock Out 150. We've been continuing to watch this little battle between Ken Campbell and Matt Burgess. Oh, Matt Burgess just absolutely shoved Peplinski into the wall. Peplinski will not be happy about that. The caution has come out for the 27 car. Sorry, the 17 car. And that is a very bent and broken looking car. Let's go back and have a look at what unfolded there from on board with Peplinski. Matt Burgess at this point was actually clear. Peplinski gets a good run coming off turn 4. And Matt Burgess, I don't know. It's hard to call that one looking at this view. Oh, but that right front of Peplinski absolutely torn to shreds and off the car. Kept it up the track as to not involve anyone else in the incident. So that's some heads-up driving there by Peplinski. But with that, we're going to go to another quick commercial break now. When we come back, we're going to see the fallout from that incident. So make sure you guys stay tuned. And we are back live, free and exclusive on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Rock Out with Your Sock Out 150 live from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And in the pit stop cycle, we have had a change for the lead. Jonathan Bell and Gary Waterworth have found their way around Christian Budd, who had a rather slow pit stop, to take the lead and second place in this race, respectively. Christian Budd fallen back to the third position. All up, Jonathan Bell spent 39 seconds in the pit lane. So did Gary Waterworth. Christian Budd spent 41 seconds, so a whole 2 seconds slower than our now leaders. So that is definitely a little bit of a shake-up here. Here whether we're coming to the 1 to green. Fortunately, I can't tell if we're on 2 to green or not, but I can tell when we're on 1 to green. And we are indeed on 1 to green. Couple cars towards the back, taking some late pit stops, being the 20 car and the 24 car. Peplinski has just come out of the pits, staying on the lead lap. Brigitte was the Lucky Dog wave around car, but he's still a couple laps down. Can get a look at the 37 car here. There he is, still 2 laps down after he got loose to ride through the pits earlier on in the race. But let's get back up to the front of the pack as we're getting ready to go green here. And we are going to watch this one from out the back of our leading car here. If I am fast enough on the button, there it is. This is the view from out the back of the Jonathan Bell car. The pace car is in. We're off and racing on the restart. If the Output Racing League, rock out with your suck out 150 from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And what a jump this 27 car has gotten. He is well and truly in the lead. It looks like that 50 of Christian Budd has retaken second place. Zach Hoy just looming there in the background as well. He's battling it out with Waterworth for third. But I'm suggesting it's probably only going to be a matter of time before we see Christian Budd back up into the leading position. Although we got one car that just got loose down on that low side. I'm not sure who that was. That was a fantastic amount of smoke that came out of that car. But Jonathan Bell, no pushover in these ARCA cars. But Christian Budd seems to be good in just about everything that he drives. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to work out for these two drivers as the race continues on. Jonathan Bell was the only one with a realistic chance of trying to beat Christian Budd in our last race. So it's just going to be a game of wait and see here. Christian Budd is now on the tail of that 27 car. Have a look out of the gyro cam of the 50. Still not making a move yet. There he goes to the inside. See the 27 of Jonathan Bell just there on his outside. Very close quarters racing. Wow, that's close. And there goes Jonathan Bell back into second place now, but can he use the momentum to get back? This lap is officially led by the 50 of Christian Budd. That roll bar is in a very unfortunate position. But there it is, it's official now. Christian Budd leading this race once more. So let's set the cameras to focus on crashes again and see where we end up. A battle here between the 4 of Jaron Sanchez and the 21 of Brian Chambliss. They're battling for 7th and 8th. Kyle Kraus wants to get in on the action here as well. Kyle Kraus to the inside. Oh, Sanchez in the fence. And Sanchez has just lost out big time in the fence. And he's going to be in the middle of the track as the rest of the pack catches him. He'll want to try and get back up to speed very quickly. He's also going to be at risk of getting the puncher here with that little bit of contact with the wall. And you can tell that his top speed is definitely down at the moment as he's fallen all the way back to 17th position. And that is a long way down compared to where he was. I also see at the front making moves, Thomas Harmon in the 38, just taking over Gary Waterworth for the 5th position. Chris Champeau up there as well in 4th. Gary Waterworth not going to lay on his laurels there. Looking to get back around the 38 of Thomas Harmon. In the background, in the fence, that was the 48 car of Andrew Perkins. Looks like he saved it now. But that looked like a big contact with the wall. See him giving a little bit of a wiggle to the car, making sure it's all right, making sure it's still turning like it should. And here's another one who has now lost out on a lot of speed because of that. Let's go back up to the 38 car of Thomas Harmon. Still sitting in 5th. Not exactly actually getting any closer to the 2 of Chris Champeau here. and not exactly pulling away from Gary Waterworth either. Let's go back to focusing on crashes again, see what we can find throughout the pack. 21 of Brian Chambliss on screen. He's not exactly in a battle, he's just behind these guys. I think we just saw 33 of Matt Horton scraping the wall a little bit there going into 3. Can't be too sure about it. Oh, we have a caution on the track. And it's for the 8 of Blake Matties. Is backwards and at the top of the middle of turn 1 and 2. Go back and have a look at what unfolded here. And we can't actually tell because he was in an alternate dimension. Looked like some late contact there with the 33 car. And Blake, unfortunately, the provider of the second caution here. With that second caution, we're going to go to another commercial break. When we come back, we're going to see how the field shakes up. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Welcome back to the Rock Out with your Sock Out 150 here live and exclusive from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel here on Twitch. And we had a lot of people come into the pits that time, including leader of Christian Budd. And now the 9 of Zach Floyd has actually assumed the lead of the field. We had 10 cars in all stay out, that being Zach Floyd, Chris Champeau, Patrick Cowgill, Matt Burgess, John Lazelle, Sean Peachin, Rob Tracy, Corey Williamson, Jonas Marquez, and Frank Isaacson. Christian Budd, the first car on fresh tyres in P11. So 1/3 of the field stayed out. And Timothy Swiggett in the 37 getting one more lap back. So now that should bring him to being only one lap down in this race. Now we're going to see if we can be granted an audience with the 8. Doesn't look like he is anywhere on track, so I don't think we can. The field on the back straight there. Everyone trying to find where they should be. It'll be interesting to see what Christian Budd can do there from the 10th position, as one of the guys who stayed out in the top 10 looks like they have pitted. Now we only have 9 cars who have not pitted in this race. as we're on 1 to green now. Time for the cars to start getting formed up. And as we have seen, that outside lane has been very disadvantaged on these restarts. Whoever is starting outside front row usually drops back 3 or 4 positions on the restarts. We'll have to see if that holds true here for the two of Chris Champeau. The people at the very back still trying to get themselves sorted out properly. Here we go for the third time. Pace car is in. And we're racing once more at Las Vegas. And great jump there by the 9 of Zach Floyd. It looked like Chris Champeau not getting the restart he would have desired in that situation. But still fared better than most. Still only sitting there in third place. He hasn't dropped all the way back like the other people on the outside lane have. It looks like Timothy Swiggett actually back in the pits. So he's not going to be one lap down like I thought. More underlying problems with that 37 car. Let's have a look at where Christian Budd is at the moment. And there he is in 7th position. Trying to take 6 away from Sean Peachin, the league rookie. Also has very experienced campaigner Matt Burgess there in the 12, sitting in the 5th position. And Christian Budd just says, yep, I'll take that one as well. Thank you very much, Lee. As we've got a slow car up ahead. And I think that is the 31 of Cowgill. That is. He must have gone for a slide or a trip into the wall coming out of turn 2. He has lost a lot of time now. Got all the way back to 4th, soon to be 5th, and maybe even more than that. Here comes the 30 and the 12 as well. Looks like he has got it somewhat back under speed. Still a little bit slower than these other drivers around him. Oh, as Matt Burgess just about slid up into Cowgill there. Oh, almost into the wall there for Patrick. It looks like things are starting to sort themselves out here just nicely. I think Patrick will get into the wall again. Let's get back to having a look at where Christian Budd is at. He's in 4th. He's right on the tail of our top 3 right now. John Lazelle and Chris Champeau just ahead of him. Well done to Chris Champeau for actually managing to get back to 2nd place there. As we are now halfway through this race, 50 laps down, 50 to go. At the moment, all things are looking Zach Floyd, who has just been running away from this pack a little bit. Looks like Christian Budd not exactly trying to make any stellar moves here to try and get back up into the lead. Seems like he might have lost a little bit of pace here compared to these guys around him. As we also have a slow car on the front stretch. That is the 3 of Philip Kruger. Not sure what happened to Philip as they were coming out of turn 4, but definitely very off the pace. As we're going back up to checking out front of the pack. John Lozelle not actually trying to hold off Christian Budd here, but still managing to do so nonetheless. In fact, like Lozelle starting to catch up to the tail of Champeau here a little bit as well. Gained a 10th on Champeau. Broke even with Christian Budd. Or Christian Budd would be happy if these guys started going side by side and racing hard. That's exactly what might start happening here in the next lap or two. Oh, Lozelle very looking to the inside there. Couldn't quite get his nose up there in time, but it was very close. Christian Budd just sitting there waiting for one of these guys to slip up so he can start moving back up again. Oh, as Chris Champeau does make a small mistake there, got a little bit loose going through 1 and 2. Lozelle not taking the advantage of it though. And Lozelle definitely a little bit faster than Champeau at the minute. Just unable to try and make that overtake. As this time he gets his nose in on the 2 car. Oh, and that was a big wall hit for Champeau. And that is what Christian Budd needed. He's going to try and do it dangerously, 3 wide. As Lozelle now up into P2. But how long will he be able to hold it for? Because Christian Budd is right there hanging on his rear quarter panel. As Champeau falls back to 4th. And Christian Budd now up into 2nd, clean and clear of Lozelle. Champeau's going to have a real hard time there in that outside lane. Tried to fight back on Lozelle, not going to work out for him at the moment. It looks like that time Lozelle managing to get ahead. But Champeau switches straight back to the inside, almost turned himself on the nose of Peachin. Now it's up to Lozelle to try and defend. Champeau very strong on that low side. Peachin also trying to look to get his nose into this battle. He knows it's going to be hard while they're side by side like this. And actually Lozelle with a huge run coming up at turn 2 there. Managing to stay ahead of Chris Champeau there. This battle is definitely not done and dusted between these 2 drivers. We'll probably be a battle that'll last the majority of the race. We're going to put up the crash cameras again, see where it ends us at. There is the 8 of Blake Matties. 4 laps down currently in the 31st position. Oh, just seen someone up in the fence. I'm not sure who it was. Doesn't look like I can get a car number on whoever it was. And the battle is back on for the 3rd position. There's the 2 of Chris Champeau still trying to make it work on the inside of Lizelle. Almost contact between the 2 drivers. We're going to jump on board with the 30 car. We're going to look at his nose at this battle ahead. As you can see also, Christian Budd not exactly pulled away from these guys here. And he has pulled away a little bit, but nothing too extreme. Only about 8-9 tenths of a second that he's got over Christian Champeau at the minute. Ooh, is Lizelle getting a little bit racy there, hitting the apron a little bit. Don't forget guys, Chris Champeau is streaming this race as well. Find him at twitch.tv/Champ Drives Cars. He also has Output Racing merch as well, so definitely go check that out. Get that through the Champ Speed Shop. This battle still spiking with intensity. They go side by side again. It looks like this time Lizelle making a mistake that has allowed Champeau to get clear. Was it a mistake or was it that pre-planned so he could get the run? It might have been a pre-planned run. Flip. So this is also, this little battle condensed the field in behind them and extended the lead that Christian Budd has over these guys. Guys have dropped back to about a second behind Christian now. We also have Matt Burgess and Brian Chambliss in this battle. It looks like Chris Champeau is going to start trying to pull away from Lizelle here ever so slightly. 12 of Matt Burgess trying to get the outside, and Chris Champeau was pitted. Chris Champeau has just come in to the pits with 33 laps left to run. 31 laps, I think. No, 33. He thinks he can make it to the end from here, and he's banking on this going green the rest of the way. We did last pit on lap 41. Some of the guys who didn't pit in the 41 lap area starting to feel the pinch a little bit on fuel, I do suspect. We also have the 24 car coming into the pits. Let's go and check out on our leaders, as this gap has ever so slightly been coming down. Black Floyd is another one who might be a little bit fuel critical here. Zach Floyd last pitted under caution on lap 26. Christian Budd pitted on lap 41 under caution. Little bit of a wall tap there from Zach Floyd as well. Oh, and loose is Zach Floyd going through turn 2. This is the opening that Christian Budd needs. It's all about trying to capitalize on it now. This is a pretty furious battle for the lead. Christian just unable to make the move work at the moment. Zach Floyd hit the apron a little bit there, drove very wide, almost got into the wall. He is in the wall right now. Oh, he's gotten sideways coming off the wall, hit it even more, and I think he's broken his right front. I think Zach has a broken right front. As Lozelle and Burgess now start coming around him. Zach Floyd definitely gonna have to have some damage. That secondary hit with the wall coming into turn 3 was pretty big. And he is going to bring that one straight to pit road now. See if we can see anything with the camera. Very pancake looking side. Actually doesn't look like he broke anything in the right front there, but it did for a second when we were watching him. Let's go and check out this battle for second now, which is definitely heating up. But Matt Burgess trying to get second place away from Lozelle. You got the 21 of Chambliss up in this battle. Going to the 28 of Austin Hakes. And the 30 of Sean Peachin holding on as well. Close, hard, fast racing here for the bottom of the podium. Because we all know the only spot that counts is the top step. Matt Burgess still holding on to third from Brian Chambliss. But John Lozelle actually starting to pull away from these guys ever so slightly. And I was almost an idiot just now. I was almost going to ask, where is Chris Champeau? But then we saw him pit. But before we get any real confirmation of pit stop strategy, we're going to go to a quick commercial break here. When we come back, we'll be going to the end unless we get another caution. So make sure you guys stay tuned. And we are back, live and exclusive here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel. The Rock Out with your Sock Out 150 live from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And this is the battle for second on screen. Don Lozelle had just gone into the pits immediately after we started the advert there. And all hell has broken loose. Matt Burgess was up in second. Now he's been shuffled back to fifth. And this is a 9-car battle for second. And they were 3 wide. They were almost 4 wide for a brief second just before we came back. But this is all good, hard, close racing here for the minor placings on the podium. They were also just recently passed by the 2 of Chris Champeau, who was trying to get his lap back after pitting earlier. And are we going to go 3 wide? Not quite yet. Gary Waterworth sitting there in that 22 car, wanting to play the spoiler. Trying to look for a way past these guys. We've got the 38 of Thomas Harmon in this second little group. And he's trying to do the exact same thing as Waterworth. And I'm wrong, this is a 7-car battle. It was bigger before. I think some more people have pitted. The 57 of Tommy Bordeaux is in the pits right now. It looks like things for this front group of the battle have started to settle down. Waterworth has overtaken for the 3rd position. Let's have a look at this little battle behind. You got Peplinski, you got Jonathan Bell, Thomas Harmon, and Kyle Kraus trying to battle it out here for 5th. And points are very important in this series. As what a move there by Jonathan Bell. Just scraping the nose of Thomas Harmon as he changed lanes then. And he manages to make the move into 5th. It's very close quarters there between the 38 and the 17. No contact though. Very experienced drivers showing us how it's done. And it looks like Jonathan Bell's going to start setting off for the pack in front. We're going to keep an eye behind him here. The 38 of Thomas Harmon, the 17 of Peplinski, and the 60 of Kyle Kraus. And it looks like they're starting to get things sorted out as well. More people on pit road. Got the 31 car in the pits now. As there are people with fresh tyres marching their way through the field. Laps down. I do believe Chris Champeau has actually gotten his lap back. Gotta go confirm that. Yep, Chris Champeau is back on the lead lap now. Currently the last car on the lead lap in 21st position. These guys just at the back of the front pack still battling it out very hard between them. See Jonathan Bell trying to look for a way around Brian Chambliss. Thomas Harmon just looming there in the background. Everyone taking the apron, trying to make the track as short as they possibly can. Oh, and there's almost contact there between the 27 and the 21. Jonathan Bell up on the inside, trying to take the advantage. Unable to do so at the minute. But this time, Jonathan Bell has taken a position, and here comes Thomas Harmon as well, getting into the grass a little bit. Not really a pass in the grass, couldn't get the move made. And now Thomas Harmon getting a little bit loose, a little bit unsettled. Here comes John Lazelle with his fresh tyres. I think that Brian Chambliss there caught the wall slightly. And that has just stinted that battle there a little bit. As you see the 27 actually trying to make a move back on the 23 of John Lazelle, but Lazelle with those fresh tires absolutely zooming along. I think the 57 of Tommy Bordeaux with some pretty major damage. He's still sitting there on the pit lane. Maybe we can see if we can grab a quick chat with him. And there he is. Hey, Tommy, Corey up in the booth. How you doing, man? All right, looks like we don't have a connection there with him. But we're now 10 laps left to run in this race. I don't know whether 50 car of Christian Budd actually going to be able to make it all the way. And I would have to assume that he'd be fuel saving at this point, trying to get it going. 9 laps left to run in this race, and here comes John Lazelle with his fresh tires. Oh, Christian Budd not giving him any quarters there, making him go around the outside. Let's go see if we can find a 28 car currently sitting in second. Austin Hakes, one of the rookies to the league this season, running the Winston No Bull number 28 car. Third place at the moment is going to be the 38 of Thomas Harmon. But he is under some big pressure from Waterworth and Jonathan Bell. More so Waterworth than it is Jonathan. And that's a name we haven't seen at the front of this pack, Jonathan Hernandez. Not actually sure where he is on track. He has changed his number for this season. It looks like Thomas Harmon actually started to pull away from these two a little bit. But let's go back up to our leader, Christian Budd. Dealing with some more lap traffic on fresh tires. There is Dawn Peachin. And it looks like Christian trying to fuel save here. The gap to Austin Hakes has been coming down significantly. Austin, another one of those drivers who pitted on lap 41. So maybe these guys looking for a caution. Got 5 laps left to run. The Rock Out with Your Sock Out 150 here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Now only 4 laps left to run in this race, and Christian Budd, last season's champion and the dominator of the Output Racing League at the moment, still leading the way here in the number 50 Ford Performance ARCA racing car. But Austin Hakes right there is still just ever looming in the background. I think Christian Budd could be in a little bit of bother here. We've only got 3 laps to run. Is that enough time for Austin to try and take the lead away? Or will we have something happen to shake up the pack? Will we get a late race caution here? Austin Hakes all over the tail of Christian Budd. I think Christian's tyres have gone off. Because here comes Austin, almost to the inside. As we get 2 to go. If they're going to bring out a caution, they've got to do it within the next lap. If not, then it's going to be an exciting battle here for the lead. As the big block thrown by Christian Budd, almost contact going into turn 3. Austin Hakes will not be happy about that as we come out of turn 4 for the penultimate time. Close quarters racing, there's contact between the two. Austin Hakes scored as a leader as they get the white flag. Last lap, last chance to win it or wear it. Don't worry about the fact you can't see the tyre connected for the left front of Austin Hakes' car. That is a graphical glitch. As Austin Hakes around the outside takes the lead away. And Austin Hakes, in his first season here with the Output Racing League, going to come out of turn number 4 for the final time and be the winner here in the Rock Out with Your Sock Out 150 from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. P2 to Christian Budd. P3, I do believe, to Thomas Harmon. Unless Christian Budd ran out of fuel. I've got to get an extra clarification on this real quick. Get my more accurate standings up so I can have a look. I do believe Christian Budd is the second place getter, and he is over Thomas Harmon. Stephen Peplinski in 4th, Jonathan Bell in 5th. We had Gary Waterworth in P6, Kyle Kraus 7th, Ken Campbell 8th. Good result from Jaron Sanchez in 9th and Brian Chambliss in 10th. Guys, we are going to be going to another quick commercial break here. When we come back, we are going to have driver interviews, so make sure you guys stay tuned. All right, here we go, guys. It's time for the Hard Charger Award. And today's Hard Charger winner, starting in 25th and getting all the way up to P11 in what was a fantastic drive. We're, of course, talking to the one and only Mr. James Watson. James, great race, man. Plus 14 for the race. That is absolutely incredible. How do you feel first and foremost?
Probably a lot more surprised than you are. I mean, I completely screwed my qualifying, so I knew I was a lot faster, but I didn't think I had 11th. I just got really lucky with the strategy call and barely having enough fuel to eke it over the line.
I mean, it looked like it was a pretty intense race, especially early on with a few cautions. How were you able to manage yourself throughout the early laps, and then as we got that really long green flag run?
I was just really focused on, racing the track and myself because my biggest issue with the ARCA cars is just tire conservation because I'm just doo doo when it comes to conservation and keeping the right front alive. So I was just kind of driving within myself and not going too over the top. And thankfully, I managed to somehow keep enough life in the tires.
I mean, it definitely looked like a very intense race throughout, as I said earlier. So just give yourself a little bit of a grade here on how you think you did overall.
I mean, I gotta give myself like a solid B plus because I kept the car under me. I kept it out of the wall, which wasn't the case for unfortunately, for some of my fellow competitors. And I just was able to race people hard and clean and not really ruffle any feathers, which is nice as one of the noobs around here.
Well, speaking of you being one of the league rookies, how are you finding the league so far? And how is it getting along with all the other drivers?
I like it around here. There's a lot of nice guys. It was fun kind of watching along with during the Super Bowl and everyone giving their opinions and takes and super dank memes during the game.
All right, man. Before we let you go, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to for helping you out here tonight?
Yeah, I gotta give a big shout out to my paint scheme designer, SAS Designs. Gotta give a big shout out to Brandon Ishkanian and the Replacements Racing League for talking me into joining up with these wacky group of guys. Les Sim Racing, Forest Cooker Trucking, just a lot of guys that help help me get faster.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on not only getting P11 here, one spot out of the top 10. Great points haul for you today. And also, congratulations on being today's hard charger in what was a very incredible race.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, guys. So that was today's 11th place getter, today's hard charger, 39 car of one Mr. James Watson. And what an incredible drive that was. It's not very often you hear people coming from that far back, but that's just the caliber of the field that we've got these days. Coming up next, we're going to have our third place getter today. And today's third place getter is none other than our former champion, the number 38 of Thomas Harmon. Thomas, it was a very intense race out there today, especially in those later few laps. How did you find it out there tonight?
After about the first couple laps, the car was extremely fun to drive. Pretty well balanced, and if you saved tire, you were good to go. Just you had to know how hard to push it and how hard not to push it. But it was overall fun. I wish I could have gotten around Bell a little bit quicker, so that way I would have been able to fight with those two for the lead. But it is what it is. No complaints. Come on, P3.
Now, we saw a couple of incidents early on in the race. And we're probably very lucky that they didn't end up being bigger crashes than what they were. What is your perspective on the first half of the race versus the second half?
I think the cautions we did get were just kind of unlucky circumstances. I haven't had a chance to look at them or anything, but I was glad to see that we got a good long green run to finish there because I was dog crap on the short run. My only hope was a long run, and unfortunately, we got one to finish the race.
All right, now let's look forward to next week. We're going to be at the Iowa Speedway for the Gases on the Right 120. What's the feeling like for you going to one of the places you love, the short tracks of Iowa?
If I don't win, I'm wrecking somebody.
Well, that's a very simple way of putting it. All right, man. Now, before we let you go, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to here tonight?
Yeah, shout out to you up in the booth for broadcasting it to everybody. All the fans that show up and watch every week via your stream or anybody else's stream that's in the race. All the league admins, all the drivers that show up every week. And I think that's it.
All right, Thomas. Well, thank you very much for coming out once again, and congratulations on getting a podium. It's going to be a hard season with Christian being so good in these, but you're doing your best to try and close that gap.
I'll get him. Don't worry.
All right, thank you very much, Thomas, and we look forward to seeing you next week at Iowa.
I'll be there. Have a good one.
All right, guys. So that was today's third place getter, the 38 car of Thomas Harmon. Coming up next, we got a little bit of a surprise here. We're not usually used to seeing him outside of the top step. If we do, we don't usually see him on the podium at all. But today's second place getter is, of course, the 50 car, defending champion, Mr. Christian Budd. Christian, it was a great race out there. A lot of very intense racing. And what was the strategy like for you starting to pit there on lap 41 when we got that caution?
Well, I knew from there we could make it on fuel. At least I thought we could, and I didn't want to get caught out like the other guys who ended up having to pit in case we had a long run. At the same time, since I'd already taken tires on that earlier caution, I didn't want to use my tires with only 15 laps on them. Unfortunately, that call probably cost me the race, but you just don't really know how the strategy is going to play out. And the car actually handled quite a bit better with just the fuel in it. So I was feeling pretty good, but it was probably took a little bit too long getting to the front, and then when I was trying to get away at the end, just having to deal with the guys unlapping themselves, slowing me down just a little bit, and needed that little bit at the end.
I was going to say, it looked like you weren't having the easiest time as you were trying to make your way back through the field. What was it like trying to, make your way through the pack?
Yeah, we picked up like a bunch of positions early, and then I got up to I think fourth or something, and Lozelle and Chris Champeau were both battling really hard, and just was getting really aero tight behind them. Really couldn't do anything. So I was kind of sitting there and thinking, okay, well I'm gonna have to like wait till these guys pit, and then Chris got the wall a little bit, slowed him up, and I I had to take that opportunity. So managed to get through there 3 wide, which was good, and then I could kind of set my sights on Zach and try and run him down, and eventually did that. And then I thought we were in pretty good shape, but I didn't really realize guys with tires were still coming. Not that it would have changed anything. I was running as hard as I could the whole time, trying to get away, but just came up a little short there.
All right, Christian. Now, next week, we're going to Iowa. What's the feeling like for you starting to head into the high bank short tracks?
I think the short tracks with these cars are going to be a lot of fun. Kind of been saying that, the setup tonight was pretty good.
but still trending tight. At the end of the race, I had 25% left on the right front and 40 or whatever on the right rear. So, um, it still is a tight car, especially as you got laps on it. And I think Iowa is going to be a little bit looser. Hopefully, it'll be a little bit more throttle control though for sure. Um, and it should be a really fun race. These cars really excel on short tracks. They're just fun on short tracks. So I'm looking forward to that quite a bit.
All right, Christian, before we let you go, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to here tonight?
Yeah, well, Austin, first race with us, and he managed to score the victory, so congrats to him. Of course, all the guys at Output Racing and everything, our sponsors for the race. If you want to check out my driving, you can go to twitch.tv/Christian Bud and check out all the stuff there. I'll be running Sundays at Winstall Cup Racing on Sundays as well. And of course, Aussie Sim Commentator for putting on a great show for everybody.
There you go, guys. He remembered to not only shout me out, but shout himself out. Very important. He forgot last week. All right, Christian.
Yep.
All right, Christian. Well, thank you very much for coming out, man. Congratulations on P2. I know it's not the win that you wanted, but it's still good points nonetheless with this shortened season.
Yeah, definitely. Got the pole, led the most laps, so did what I think we could do, and strategy sometimes doesn't work for you.
All right, man. Well, thank you again for coming out. We look forward to seeing you next week at Iowa.
Thanks.
All right, guys. So that was today's second place getter, the 50 car of Christian Budd, our defending champion. And you can hear he was just a little bit dejected there with the second place finish, but hopefully he can get past that and bounce back bigger and better than ever next week. But coming up next, a man who I think should be very, very excited, coming out and winning on debut. I don't think we've actually had anyone who has done that yet, besides obviously first season. But guys, introducing our winner for today, the 28 car of Austin Hakes. Austin, that was a mental run there at the end. It was a little bit of where did he come from, because I didn't see you in those front battles in the last 30 laps. So where did you come from, and how did you figure out that you were going to be good enough to try and get the win there?
Yeah, it's great to be back here. My my teammate Tommy made an excellent call. We rolled the dice on the first stop at lap 26. Didn't take any tires. Set us back. I think we were running like 26th. It was not good. We got a quick caution on lap 40 or 41, and we took four. Everybody, it looked like, kind of took fuel only, and that's kind of what set us up. Just I don't know, started 20th and just picked them off one by one. And then there was a big gaggle of cars like in the top five. We got through there, and I don't know, 20 laps left, and it was still making way on Christian. He's really fast, and I don't know. We just kept picking them off, and 10 to go. I was like, man, I really have a shot to win this, and got around him there with the 2 to go.
It definitely looked like a fun race from our perspective. What was it like being in the car? Was it as fun as what it looked like on track?
Yeah, I tell you what, it's super fun. These cars a little bit lower on power, but they'll definitely get sideways on you, and just super fun. The race tonight was super fun too. I mean, only a few cautions, a ton of guys, stiff competition.
Now let's look forward to next week, mate. We're going to Iowa. What's the feeling like for you heading to Iowa in these ARCA cars?
Yeah, I really like Iowa. It's probably one of my favorite tracks on the service. So hopefully we can go in there and kind of do what we did tonight. Maybe not, restarting 20th. I don't think that was really what we were looking for. But hopefully we can go in there and challenge some of the top guys here for a win.
All right, man. Well, before we let you go here tonight, anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to my teammate Tommy, TWB Technologies. What a guy! Just made a great call, Jaron, and for allowing me back into the league. I think 2018 was the last time I raced here, so great to be back. You, Corey, for putting on the show.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming out, man. Congratulations on the win. And we look forward to seeing you again next week at Iowa.
All right, thank you.
All right, guys. So that was today's winner. 28 car of Austin Hakes winning on debut. Hasn't been here for 3 years. How's that one? All right, guys. That is going to wrap up the broadcast here. I'd like to thank you all for coming out and watching what was a fantastic showing here from the Output Racing League, guys. Until next time, when we go to Iowa, good luck, have fun, and die quietly out there. Make sure you guys, if you're gonna do the road course for Daytona, take it easy. You can break earlier than you think. You don't need to dive bomb every corner. So, guys, until next time, I've been your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator, and I'll see you guys next week.